Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty78609. I'm doing this video with my Pixel 3a XL new phone with no external mic. Why aren't I using the external mic? Well, because apparently there's a little issue with the syncing of the sound and the video using the external mic. So I'm just going to see how well it picks up going without it, because eventually I would like to just have one phone to do videos with, and I just have to figure out how to do it. It's called polishing the diamond. You know what I mean? You start off with a rock and you just keep fooling with it till you get it looking like a diamond. But anyway, here we are. We just left the grocery store, as I'm sure you saw, and now we're getting on Highway 1431 going west. Thank Buddha for that, because if we turned left, we'd been going in the sun and you wouldn't be seeing much. But anyway, we'll see how this baby cooks. Anyway, what was I going to talk about? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to talk about. Eating while you're out traveling and stuff. You know, the place, you know, how do you eat decent while you're on the road? And the answer to that is, you just keep doing the same thing you've been doing, and then somebody's going to say, well, you know, we can't find this and we can't find that. And that's true, you can't. And you're going to have to do some substitutions. But you know, usually there's a Walmart somewhere, even though they don't have the best food in the world, you can use an Instant Pot if you have shore power and make you some really decent meals and put the leftovers in the freezer of your refrigerator and do pretty good. You really can. But anyway, what did I do this morning? I went into HEB in Marble Falls, Texas, and got me some pico de gallo. And for you that don't know what pico de gallo is, you need to check it out. It can be rather warm because sometimes it has a little jalapeno in it. And yeah, but anyway, I got me some jalapeno cornbread and some pico de gallo, and that's the way that goes. And that's going to be my lunch with, of course, I'll add some other stuff to it, which, like what? I'm going to add, I've got some chili. I've got some Amy's chili that I souped up, or that I added. Souped up means like increase the power, by adding some venison meat, ground up meat that I cooked, that my son brought me, and I cooked it. I cooked it well done, because you know sometimes there can be some little things in there. But anyway, I cooked that well done, kind of made it into like a chili, you know what I mean? Just like hamburger meat stuff, but it's venison. So I'm going to add the venison to the chili with some kidney beans. And a lot of people don't add beans to their chili, but I do, because that's the way I like it. Beans are high in fiber and got some other good stuff for you. So anyway, so I'll have the Amy's chili with venison and kidney beans, and then of course the pico de gallo. What I'll do is I'll put I'll warm the chili, get the chili nice and warm, and then I'll pour it over the cornbread. Oh God, isn't this going to be wonderful? My mouth's watering right now. But having said that, moving right along, I'll heat the chili, get it nice and hot, pour it over the cornbread, and then I'll add a little pico de gallo on top, and I also have a little hot sauce. Somebody sent me a jar of a little hot sauce, or whatever you want to call it. And so I'm going to add a little of that, not much, to it, and then just sit down and eat till I hurt myself. Does that sound like a good deal? Yes. But when you're out RVing and you want to eat healthy, you can do it. You just have to concentrate a little more, and when you're in an area that has some decent food or groceries or grocery store, get a few things, you know, and fix you something and put stuff in the freezer. I do that all the time, and it helps, because some places you get, you'll be kind of caught out because the local grocery store won't have hardly anything that you want to eat. Like in Columbus, New Mexico, they have a grocery store there, but there's certainly not a very good selection. The nearest grocery store is in Deming, about 30 miles away. However, in Capitan, New Mexico, where my home base is, in New Mexico, my second home base, I'm in Texas now at my home base near Kingsland, and anyway, they have a great grocery store, Smokey's grocery store, I think that's the name of it. Now, they got a great deli. They fix, you know, just homemade meals back there, you know, in that little kitchen they've got. And yeah, it's good stuff. They take the food right off the shelf and prepare the meals. You know, nothing's brought in, quote, pre-prepared as far as I know. And it's good stuff. You know, and they don't salt it to death, you know, so that it has a little taste. I mean, it tastes good, but it's not over salty, because I never had any issues You know, sometimes I get a little heartburn if there's too much salt in food. Never had that issue out there. So anyway, back to eating healthy while you're on the road. It's pretty easy. Salads and stuff are always, you can always find a head of lettuce somewhere. It might be a head of lettuce that looks like crap, but you can do something with that. And bananas, most of the time you're going to have a hard time finding decent bananas, decent avocados, and some other produce most of the time. Produce items seem to be the most difficult to find, the good quality. Now again, the little store in Capitan does really good, and of course Walmart, it just doesn't compare with this Texas food chain. They also have 22 stores in Mexico or more, called HEB. Yeah, they are connected with Mexico and South America, and they've got some connections with people that do shrimping and stuff in the Gulf. So they've got great produce, great meats, great fish. I mean, no, they do really good, and it spoils you. And so, having said that, what else am I going to cover today? Well, let's just keep going here, guys. Food. Let's see. So I'll have that for lunch, and the jalapeno cornbread with pico and chili and stuff. I'll have that for lunch. Of course, I just pour the chili over the cornbread. Oh, it's delicious, guys, man. And you'll eat till you hurt yourself. And then what else? Tonight, my son also brought me some summer sausage made out of venison and pork, a mix. And so I'll cut a slice of that summer sausage with some crackers, and I got me some good sharp cheddar cheese. And while I'm drinking my wine and reading my book tonight, I'll just have a little snack on that. So my day as far as eating is planned. Is that good? Sure it is. And I do the same thing when I'm traveling. I try to keep all the meals pretty simple. I don't like to cook a lot, and I certainly don't like to cook so that I have greasy pots and pans. I don't like to cook anything that has grease in it, like fatty meats or any meat at all. I rarely eat beef or like hamburger and stuff. I don't do that. I might occasionally, if I'm caught out, get some really healthy stuff called sausage, and that's great. If you ever watch them make sausage, you'll never eat it. And if you ever watch them make laws, you'll never vote. They always say there's two things you don't want to see made, and it's sausage and laws, and that is very, 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 very true. But having said that, moving right along, it is a beautiful day here in Central Texas, as I hope you can see, and I hope this video turns out okay, because I'm not using the external mic. I'll point that out again. So those of you that had a couple of comments on the sound not being synced with, or the audio not being synced with the video on the mail call video I did yesterday, it was because I did use the Pixel 3a XL using an external mic, and there have been some issues using an external mic with a Pixel 3a XL or any of the Pixels at all, not just the Pixel 3a, but the Pixel 3, 2, etc. And now we're cooking along here at 52 miles an hour. I'm telling you guys, this is light speed for me. I'm getting dizzy from the lack of oxygen. But anyway, so what else can I tell you guys? Am I planning on doing some RVing? Sure, man. I'm into that. I live in an RV. That's all I do. I mean, I'm boondocking at my place now, or not boondocking. I'm what do you call it? Home base docking, I guess you'd say. But for me, to go boondocking in cold weather, like tomorrow morning here in Central Texas, it'll probably be in the low 20s. I don't want to be camping in that. No. And it's hard to find a place anywhere right now. Now you can get way down in South Texas around Brownsville, probably do pretty good, or really south in New Mexico, south of Tucson along the Arizona, New Mexico border, or Arizona, Mexico border, and do pretty good. Quartside's kind of hit and miss. They've got good weather there in the winter. They really do. Overall, I'd say it's great. And they do get a little rain in December and January, not much. But boondocking for me is pretty much history. And that chapter is pretty much closed because I've mentioned it in other videos. As you get older, one of the things that happens is your immune system starts to deteriorate, or it's not as active, or it's not as good. And so all those little dormant illnesses that are in your body all the time, like flu and other things, If your immune system gets a little weakened, then here they come. Next thing you know, you got a cold and the flu and then pneumonia, and that's the end of you. So, you know, you old folks out there, stay warm, you know, and avoid crowds, particularly kids, you know, because they're nothing but germ carriers. I hate to say that, but, you know, you get kids that are in school and, you know, they're around, say, 1,000 other kids. Yeah, they're going to bring home all kind of types of flu virus, and if you're around them a lot or any, you could be exposed. I'm not discouraging you. I'm just pointing out that whenever you're around, you be sure you know, wash your hands, maybe wash your face after you're in their presence. That'll help avoid the exposure to some types of viruses and other things. But having said that, I'm not a doctor, have never been a doctor, but I can read, I can think, and that's scary, isn't it? I can still do that, even in this day and age. And let's see, that brings me to another point I'll just touch on while I'm driving here, since I don't have anything else to do, and this is kind of a test video. You know, we had a lot of comments. I did that video about, you know, my video I did of triking Marble Falls, and I got copyright violation because they picked up some sound in the background at a long distance away for about a little over a minute, and they said I had a copyright violation. I removed that portion and reposted the video. All is well, but some people took that as you know, kind of like, well, you know, there goes all our freedom, because now they can pick up sounds in the background. Yeah, they can pick your voice out of a crowd. You know, if they had your voice print from some other video or whatever, then they can pick your voice out of a crowd at a football stadium, believe it or not, and also your face. So, you know, don't worry about privacy and all that stuff. It's been gone for years. You know, it's been an illusion that we have privacy or had privacy, you know, but, you know, as far as censorship on YouTube, and it's there, and it's heavy. It's a lot of censorship on YouTube and YouTube video creators. But it's no different now than it was when the television studios started back in the 50s or 40s. ABC, NBC, and CBS, they censored everything. You know, every show on television. Ed Sullivan, Milton Berle, the Smothers Brothers, all those shows were censored to death. I mean, there were words they couldn't say. All kind of things they couldn't do. There were certain dress that wasn't allowed, all kind of things that were not allowed. So the censorship, that didn't start recently. That started even on radio. You know, that goes back to the first time the human voice could reach millions of people over the airways. That the people that were sponsoring these shows said, "Hold it, guys, we don't want our post-hosties associated with cursing or religious thing, overtones, or anything like that. You know, you take all that out. You know, and so they had editors editing the editors to be sure that they didn't make any of their large advertisers angry. And YouTube's doing the same thing, because YouTube survives off of ad revenue. And if some of the big advertisers that advertise a lot start pulling out because of the creators are not under control, then, you know, they'll censor them, and they have, and they'll continue to do that. Even the government's come in now with this COPPA thing, the Children's Protection Act. You know, and if you have a video on YouTube directed at children, good luck. You know, $59,000 a video, that's your fine if you do something wrong. Now, of course, I don't know what all the guidelines are. I don't really care. None of my videos are directed at children. You know, a child on my watching my video would be about 40. Not many younger. But anyway, we're going to take a ride here, and I'll end the video. But again, I'm checking two things here: the audio and the image stabilization, and also the video quality. But again, it's the Pixel 3a XL. It has the same camera as the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 4. Even though the Pixel 4, I think, has just come out, supposedly the camera is the same thing. And the good thing about this camera is it's not hardware doing the image stabilization. It may be some, but most of it is the super software that Google is so good at and hopefully it's going to do okay. But we'll see. You know, you'll be able to see it right along with me. And having said that, guys, what else can I tell you? Christmas is coming. The lights are on the tree. And so let me end this video. It's gone on about 15 minutes, which is a good length for a video. I try to keep my videos around 20 minutes or in that range. Why? Because for me, whenever I find somebody that I like to watch on YouTube and they post a video, I like for them to be about 20 minutes long. Why? Because that gives me time to eat my breakfast or whatever I'm doing, you know what I mean, while I'm watching their video. And you know, if they're too short, then I've got to keep moving to other things, and it just makes it easier, that's all. But it is a beautiful day in Central Texas. Christmas is next week, next Wednesday, I think. And that's an awkward day for workers because, you know, if you just get one day off, that's it, you know. And for some people that get, you know, like half a day or the day before, that's a Tuesday and a Wednesday. So, you know, that's kind of the midweek vacation, I guess. But having said that, guys, all you people out there that are buying those gifts and putting stuff under them, look at here, man, this guy is flying. I'm going 55, he's got to be going 90. I hear you. Where is law enforcement when you need it? Yeah, passed on a double stripe. That was somebody passed on a stripe on my side, which was, he couldn't see over that hill. Enough said about that, guys. I hope he doesn't injure anybody. But having said that, where's the thumb upper? I don't know. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Thumbs up. Carpe diem, adios, bye. Buy anything you want anytime. But if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in the description of all of my videos. Why? Because I get a small commission. Well, no, I can't say that. But anyway, you know why. It doesn't cost you a penny. Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day won't hurt you. It's good for you. It'll help you avoid gout, kidney stones. It'll help you lose weight because you'll be full of water and you won't want to eat so much. How about that? And what else? Take deep breaths. Breathe in deeply through your nose or your mouth. Does not matter a bit. A deep breath, a good deep breath, and hold it for a few seconds and breathe out slowly. Why? Because that relieves stress, and relieving stress does what? Lowers your blood pressure. You know what I mean? And is that good for everybody? Knows that. And then what else? You know, stretch, walk. You know, pedal. Exercise your body once or twice a day. You'll feel better. You may live longer because of it. And then what else? Stand guard at the door of your mind. Don't let negative Nancy or negative Ned get inside of your head. It's your head, your brain, your frontal lobes, all that stuff, you know, and, you know, put in good ingredients. If you put in good ingredients most of the time, then you cannot help but form good thoughts. You know what I mean? It's like fixing a meal. You know, you put in good ingredients, it's probably going to taste pretty good. And so with that in mind, enjoy your day at ease and carry on. And remember, today's the first day of the rest of your life. Make it a good one, guys. I'm working on it now. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye.